So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story is from Adventure Comics 316, published in January 1964, with story by Edmund Hamilton and art by John Forte. This is part 2. Hounded across half the universe by those who were formerly his comrades, the outlaw who was Ultra Boy strives to throw off relentless pursuit, but the grim retribution of the Legion of Superheroes against the only traitor in its history cannot be long evaded. Here is the dramatic and surprising saga of the end of a Super-Traitor. My former Legionnaire friends are running me down. Unless I reach the one refuge left to me, I haven't a chance. So in the previous issue, we got two situations going on. One is this alien group is stealing technology and resources. Meanwhile, the Legion discovers that Ultra Boy is not who he has presented himself and is actually a criminal. So he's on the run from the Legion and decides to hide out at this planet. Also, at this point, Ultra Boy has more than just his penetravision. He can swap between ultra speed, ultra strength, and ultra invulnerability and his penetravision. But he could only have one at a time. So he lands there. You should never have landed on this world, stranger. Who spoke to me? It couldn't be this terrible monster. Well, how rude, Ultra Boy. He could be just an alien. I mean, he is an alien, but you're wrong. I did speak to you. The nervous strain of being a fugitive is giving me delusions. Such monsters couldn't speak intelligently. Again, how rude. But he says, but we were once human men like you. No, actually, they weren't. He's not a human, and they were never humans. Unless you broaden the term of human. But apparently they did not look like this originally. This scientist had a mind exchange machine, which apparently was something in Supergirl's Wedding Day in Action Comics 307, which I have not gotten to. He exchanged minds with these monsters, but, well, now I'm saying it. But he can't seem to switch them back. So Ultra Boy tells him that his former comrade Mon-El, that the Daxamites are master biophysicists, so he could definitely help out. Who knew that? So they're still on the trail of Ultra Boy, and Mon-El's leading the pack because he is by far the strongest. Meanwhile, we know that we learned in the previous issue that Phantom Girl is quite fond of Ultra Boy. I think I know where Ultra Boy may finally hide, but I'll keep that knowledge out of my thoughts. So Mon-El does show up at that planet where Ultra Boy is, and Ultra Boy says, the boy who is pursuing me is one of the great biophysicists I mentioned. Really? Okay. Tell him your problem and he can solve it. So the scientist says, give me help before my human subjects die of despair. Jeez. I put their minds into these monsters' bodies, but I can't re-exchange them. So I guess there's just not a moment to spare. But I have to go after Ultra Boy. Still, if this is a matter of life or death, I'll try it. And he is successful, so I guess he really is not only a great biophysicist, but is able to understand this fellow's machine instantly. So you could see they're not humans. They're green, but they are humanoid. That brings the last man's mind back into the proper body. I'll never repeat this rash experiment. Now I have to go, but I'm afraid I've lost the trail. So they have to go yet again and see if they can figure out where Ultra Boy has gone. He spots them using he turns off his ultra speed and uses his penetravision to spot them. And Saturn Girl says, ordinarily I wouldn't pry into a comrade's thoughts, but Ultra Boy is outside the law now, and I can sense he's thinking of landing on a world with rivers of fire under a red sun. So they go to the obvious planet, and he is not there. And he apparently tricked her by putting in a false thought. So this is something interesting that, and definitely a limitation on Saturn Girl, that she can be tricked, and this is not the first time. Also, people are able to close out their mind to her. So She seems most effective when people don't know what she's trying to do. So Chameleon Boy does find him on this world of crystals and says, "Surrender, Ultra Boy. This ray gun will stun you if you try to flee. Remember, when you use your ultra energy for super speed, you're vulnerable." But Ultra Boy says, "Ah, to hell with you," because he thinks that the gun is actually Prody too, and he's correct. "All right, Prody, you can change back to normal now. He saw through my trick and is getting away in super speed." So this is kind of a continuing thing here. He's able to use his knowledge of the Legionnaires to continually escape. Saturn Girl says, "If he's that close, maybe I can catch his thought. Wait, I just got a flash of his thoughts before he closed his mind." Ultra Boy's thought was of an orange-colored planet and a strange place of illusions. I don't understand it, but Phantom Girl does. She knows he's going to Mirage World, a place that Ultra Boy told her about but said never mention it. Ultra Boy always looks like he's happy. "Ultra Boy, you don't consider me strange because I can turn into an insubstantial phantom, do you?" "Well, I don't know. I hang out with a girl who can make herself tiny, and a guy who can make himself gigantic, and another guy who can blow up like a balloon and bounce around. So that's not exactly weird." So he mentions about Mirage World, and they kind of figure it out. We've narrowed it down, the search down to the orange-colored planet, and there are only a few near here. We're going on. You call Earth Base to check, and there's Element Lad, who has not been used much. So they have closed in. It says a cosmic net begins to close on the hunted outlaw. And they go to the planet. We've seen no sign of Ultra Boy anywhere on this empty world. He certainly can't be down in the mountain-ringed region. Look at the colossal flying monsters that lurk there. But even though we can't find him, I have a telepathic feeling he is here. And they're going to wait until Cruiser 2 and Mon-El show up. Meanwhile, Phantom Girl thinks she knows where he's at. That awful creature, if what Ultra Boy told me is wrong, I'm doomed the moment I become solid again. So turns out that all of those creatures are just projected illusions, a mirage. Ultra Boy said that a long-dead race to defend their city created illusions of fearsome monsters and camouflage tricks. So she does find Ultra Boy. We have to leave. The Legionnaires are here. But the aliens that had been stealing technology show up, and they use a giant tube to suck them up. And apparently, I guess Phantom Girl's not using her power. But I would assume if she was immaterial, that suction would not work on her. So these are the aliens that are stealing the technology. Our monitors showed that you, a former Legionnaire, are now a hunted outlaw. Join us and tell us the secrets of the Legion's weapons, and you'll share the vast loot we'll take from Earth. And he's like, yeah, sure, okay. I don't care about that man anymore. Phantom Girl says, no, Ultra Boy, you can't commit such treachery. Take me to Earth. I'll take care of it. So he helps them to sneak in. And Cosmic Boy says, Ultra Boy, you've betrayed the Legion and all Earth. Well, Cosmic Boy, you do have magnetic powers. Maybe you could use those. Come now, I'll show you how these weapons work. They're designated not to kill, but to radiate a freezing force that plunges anyone within a mile into an icy coma. And he uses it on them. So it works on non or unhuman aliens, but not on humans. So he says, you'll be disarmed and returned to your own world. I could have turned into a phantom and escaped to warn the police, but I knew our Ultra Boy couldn't be a traitor. So everyone was fooled. Ultra Boy was doing this all on his own. He was able to use his ultravision, penetravision, to spot them. They have powerful weapons and might do damage to Earth if we attack them. If I could only lure them into a trap. They're busy monitoring all the other Legionnaires who have left me here. So he fakes this information that tags him as a criminal. I dared not tell you my plan when you returned, for the aliens were still monitoring you closely and had to think me a real criminal, or they'd never enlist me as an ally, as I wanted. Ultra Boy, the Legion apologized for ever doubting you, no matter what the evidence. To Phantom Girl, well, you kind of had to in order for his plan to work, but To Phantom Girl, who never doubted you, goes the honor of replacing your insignia as a Legion member. I was the first member ever expelled from the Legion, and fervently hope that I'm the last. You won't be. Sorry. But I thought that was a good story. I like that one. So Ultra Boy is back in the Legion and more powerful than ever.